There's a lot going on with the minimal audio current synth, and I mean a lot. Fortunately, Minimal Audio has put a lot of effort in creating a very understandable package. Current is described by Minimal Audio that it will provide endless hours of music making and inspiration to assist you in your creative process. This description is actually correct and as vague as it gets. Now let's build a distorted thick lead sound with Current, and I'll explain what does what. First thing I do with this melody is to make it monophonic and add some glide. There's a whole dedicated chord and sequencing section below here with many variations. Which notes are picked up based on which scale you set here. Not using this any further for this sound. For the sound I'm after, the first oscillator can sound different. Chorus PWM will be the wavetable I choose here. With these two voices it can sound broader. Let me fix the detune. The balance is off and I want it to sound broader. The first two oscillators are wavetables, and if you're known with these digital sound generators, you will know that this means they can be tweaked and altered in many ways, and that's no different with Current. With only the pitch and harmonics options, you get 460 possible combinations. And you change with the wave, position and warp dials how they act and sound. It's safe to say that the number of variations with the Wavetable Oscillators is ginormous. I want some high frequency grid. There must be something cool in the granular module. Let me adjust. The granule module or layer gives you everything you want from a granular synth. Most importantly, the position of where exactly the grain of the waveform should be grabbed from, the spray and speed. Minimal Audio did send me a free copy of Current, but they don't sponsor this video or have seen the video before you do. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on the latest new cool plugins and hardware. Cover songs is probably one of the many types of songs you would love to do, but uploading to a streaming platforms is always a hassle due to copyrights and required fee because you cover an original song. DistroKid makes this very easy for you by offering the option to do this all for you for $12 per song per year when you have a DistroKid subscription. Use my link in the description to get 7% off of your first year on a DistroKid. This sound needs sub. Sub is a specialized low-end oscillator. The sub oscillator is a far more straightforward affair in contrast to the wavetables and granular synths. I really like the fact you can change the amount of harmonics for each of the sub sounds with the whole spectra and drive section. This will do. Now we have this sound so far, and I do feel one of the wavetables needs to drop an octave. Let me see if the sampler will add something useful. Dusty tidal wave is cool. Octave up is even nicer. The sampler is probably the most simple of all 5 sound generators. It's mostly a sample player, but it still has nice additional features. The oscillators can use some movement. And I'll do something with the modulators. The modulators have 4 options as modulation source, and for instance the curve can work as full step sequencer. Basically all controls can be modulated in the style of, for instance, massive. Drag and drop and set how much modulation you want and in which direction. In regards of control, you also have 4 macro controls, which you can rename however you want. If you assign a MIDI controller to these, you can have some great expression control, and the modulators can also modulate these macros. That can lead into a nice little rabbit hole. Filters will absolutely spice up the sound. First, some automated low passing. And I think flanging will work well too. All layers can be assigned to one or both filters, or bypass them individually. These filters can work in parallel or in series. Very flexible, and you have a ton of choices in filters and filter-based effects. There's also FM and AM modulation possible on top of this all, as if filtering wasn't just enough. Now let's add effects. Distortion, of course. A bit of reverb. and maybe delay. Each of the 8 effects is fully featured. All of its parameters can be modulated as well with the modulators. Effects are an essential part of every synth sound, and Current absolutely delivers. Each of these 8 effects can be accessed as standalone effects as well in the longer term. This is part of the Current ecosystem they are developing. Let me go over every module and fine-tune. Let's add a bit of a cue to round it off. A big part of what makes Current interesting for me is the Stream tab. This one is a huge browser for presets, wavetables and sounds. This works either locally with what you already have or in the cloud where you have access to many new sounds. Just go through them based on whatever you're looking for, download it and work from there. There's so much possible with Current, and hopefully with this video you get a slight idea of how deep this synth goes. There are now 3 ways to buy Current. There's a perpetual license for $199 where the standalone effects aren't included. And there are 2 rent to buy options. One uses monthly payments and the other is yearly and cheaper. With these you can get a monthly credit which you can use for any minimal audio product. You can use your saved credit to buy Current after 14 months with that. I wouldn't say Current is cheap. It's rather pricey, but you do get a lot right now and more in the future. I would highly suggest you will check it out yourself if you are into synths and want to take a deep dive. Current is absolutely one of my favorite synths of 2023 so far. The synth displayed on screen and linked in the description takes a completely different approach. Check it out.